Crick Buzz at Stumps at Dubai. Adam Collins and Mike Hussey. After one of the more extraordinary conclusions to a test match in modern memory, Australia somehow have saved the test, Mike. Largely due to Usman Khawaja. It was an epic.
Oh, it certainly was. I don't think anyone gave Australia a chance of saving the test match, and it was a wonderful performance from Khawaja. Pakistan tried everything on the last day, but it just didn't quite go their way. He had some good helpers. I thought Travis Head played really well. Tim Paine, the captain, and even Nathan Lyon at the end. I'm not sure how many balls he faced, but probably 30-odd balls at the end to help Australia just scrape away with the draw and keep the series alive. So it's been a great test match.
Let's start with Khawaja. So much scrutiny on him playing away from home in Asia and against spin. The way he so emphatically overcame those hurdles in his test match. What was different about his cricket?
Well, he certainly silenced the critics, I think. You know, his composure under pressure was really good, and I think he had a plan for all of their bowlers. He knew exactly where they were going to try and get him out and how he was going to counter it. It wasn't just about survival, it was also about scoring runs, and I think a good example of that is that the way he played Yasir Shah, who was going to be a huge threat in this particular series. He just reverse swept him, and I don't think Yasir Shah really knew where to bowl at the end. He did end up getting his wicket right at the end, but he played him absolutely outstandingly well, and it was a phenomenal knock, or both innings really.
It's one thing watching it from the air-conditioned comfort of our commentary box, but it's another altogether to be out there. You played a lot of test cricket in this part of the world, in Asia more broadly. How draining is it emotionally, mentally and physically playing an innings that stretched beyond 500 minutes, the second longest fourth innings hand in the history of test cricket?
Well, I'm sure he's on a bit of a high at the moment after playing such a wonderful knock, but you're right, he was on the field for most of the test match really, whether it be in the field or with the bat in his hand. So much concentration required for every single delivery. It was really hot throughout the test match, up close to 40 degrees every day. So it will take its toll, and he'll have to recover well over the next couple of days to be ready for the second test, and I'm sure he'll be up for it again. But even he'll probably still be feeling the effects, you know, maybe weeks down the track once he gets back to Australia.
Not that there's any doubting his character, but could that make Tim Paine as a captain, especially after the year they've had post what happened at Cape Town?
Well, it was really interesting listening to him say how proud he was of the team, you know, to show that resilience and fight. They've been through a lot. They've got to earn the respect back, but basically on the field with the way they play, but also with their behaviour and things like that. And I think they've played with great spirit in this test match, and it's definitely a big step forward in gaining some respect back around the world.
Travis Head, it's easy to forget Travis Head due to what happened later in the day, but he was crucial after those 3 Australian wickets fell for 87 late yesterday.
Yeah, he showed a lot of composure for someone. You've got to remember, he's on debut. He got a duck in the first innings. He would have been shaking with nerves, but he showed great composure, great poise, and I feel like he's really tightened his technique up in the last year or so. I remember Travis Head being a little bit loose, and that was my question mark over whether he could make runs consistently at test match level, but his defence looked really good, and we all know his scoring ability, much like an Aaron Finch, but yeah, that's a good sign I think for Australia.
Nathan Lyon's the man you gave the team song to when you retired from Test cricket. How proud were you today watching him bat for 34 deliveries at the end against Yasir Shah, Mohammad Abbas, hooping it round corners in his case, Yasir turning it square, overspin, every trick in the book, and he just found a way to survive, and really he looked quite comfortable towards the end.
Well, he's got a very good defence. He should trust his defence more. You know, generally against the spinners, he sort of says, "Oh, I don't think I can survive. I'll just sweep," and he gave it away like that in the first innings. But yeah, he was resolute in defence. He supported Tim Paine extremely well, and you're right. He looked really comfortable at the end. It's basically the hardest part is those first 20 balls. If you can get past those first 20 balls, then things start to get a bit easier. And he looked pretty composed throughout his innings, and he must have been really nervous. And also spare a thought for John Holland, who was sitting on the side.
For Pakistan, they've drawn a game they had to win from where they were, 280 ahead on the first innings. They set Australia 462. They had 5 sessions to get the wickets and couldn't get there. You played at Cardiff in 2009 when Australia couldn't finish that test match, and that left a pretty serious blow on your side through that Ashes series. How big a task has Sarfaraz Ahmed now got to get his team back up again before Abu Dhabi next week?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's going to be tough. That they'll feel like it's a loss for them. You know, they dominated this test match for most of the game, and they just couldn't quite get over the line. They've got to just sit down, look at all the positives. You know, as I said, they've played some really good cricket, and I think they can improve. You know, Yasir Shah was probably just below his best a little bit, as was Wahab Riaz with the ball. So if those guys get up to speed as well, then they're going to challenge really hard. I think it's going to be more of a mental thing, though. I think back to that Cardiff thing, that Cardiff game, we sort of felt like, okay, we just need to maybe just increase our performance a little bit, whereas England thought, no, we've got to really jump up another level, and they probably played with that sort of intensity. So they've got to make sure that their intensity is right up for the start of that next Test match in Abu Dhabi.
Well, we were so privileged to be at this Test match in Dubai. It was a classic to be here for Crick Buzz. We'll be there next week. Mike Hussey and Adam Collins for Crick Buzz. We'll talk to you soon.